Chapter 5. New World Order. Martin presented himself to Keith's office on the other side of the same level of the building. As the strategic planner, Keith was a special advisor to the chief executive officer and occupied a unique and powerful position in the organization.
Hi Martin, glad to meet you. Keith Miles is my name.
Nice to meet you, Keith. I understand that we have to visit some of the operational managers to negotiate budgets. Is that right?
Yes, Martin. I have organized for a taxi to pick us up at 1:30 p.m.
As they hopped into the taxi, Martin asked,
Did you see the news about Clinton bombing Iraq? Doesn't seem like the post-Berlin Wall peace has lasted too long.
I don't watch the news, Martin. I don't own a TV. Too much distraction. I am interested in helping to shape the world into a better place. All these nation-states at war with each other will not end unless we provide a global solution.
The only global solution I can see as viable is the second coming of Christ.
Keith turned slowly and looked Martin up and down.
What is that badge you are wearing on your jacket?
It represents the three angels' messages of Revelation 14.
And what do you believe is contained in those messages?
Asked Keith warily, surprised at Martin's forthrightness.
It is the presentation of the everlasting gospel in contrast to the mark of the beast, and warning the world to worship the Creator who made heaven and earth, in remembering His memorial, the Sabbath.
You Sabbatarians. Our job as Christians is to reform this world, and the only way to do this is through globalism.
It is a noble ambition, but my Bible says the only globalism that will take place this side of the second coming is connected to the mark of the beast.
Martin winced a little as those words tumbled out.
Tone it down, Martin,
he thought to himself. The atmosphere in the taxi felt a little awkward at that point. Keith switched topics and started explaining about the nature of the employment agency that the United Methodist Organization was running and how they were helping people get back into the workforce.
I will introduce you to Kathy, our supervisor, and she will give you a quick tour of our operation there.
Hi, Keith,
said Kathy, as Keith and Martin strode into her office.
Here is the list of objectives I hope to achieve from this year's budget,
she said hopefully.
Let me introduce you to Martin. He will crunch the numbers for us and see whether we can accommodate all your requests or not.
Hi, Martin. I hope the numbers come out in our favor. I really want to expand our business to reach more clients next year.
Nice to meet you, Kathy. Well, we will put these into the system, and I will get back to you.
Thanks, Martin. I appreciate that.
Martin and Keith visited 2 other centers before they finished for the day. As Martin was leaving, Keith paused and addressed him.
Martin, I have written a new book recently, and I would like to give you a copy.
Thank you, Keith. That is kind of you.
Martin looked down at the cover, which read Global Mandate, with a wired globe design. Martin put it in his bag, shook Keith's hand, and walked to the subway to catch the train home. On the train, Martin pulled out the book and looked at the description of Keith on the back cover. It mentioned that he was a member of the Club of Rome.
Interesting. I have heard of the Club of Rome. It is a notably elite organization. I wonder why Keith would join this religious organization, being such a high-profile individual. It makes sense that he doesn't watch the news if he is part of the group of leaders that are making the news. I am sure he really believes in what he is doing. Who wouldn't want to make the world a better place? If only he understood the prophecies of Daniel and Revelation that tell us that the world can't be reunited again in the way he thinks, except for a brief moment just before sudden destruction comes.
Martin marveled how it was that significant individuals could have so much experience and connection with Christianity, yet still refuse the Bible's basic diagnosis of the human condition, that sin is incurable, and only when God recreates the world anew will we have peace. But maybe these powerful men think they are doing what God would have them do, and this is how they interpret the Christian tradition's idea of a new world. It made Martin think how easy it was to misunderstand the will of God. As he pondered these things, he lost his appetite to read further in the book. A verse came to his mind.
And if anyone thinks that he knows anything, he knows nothing yet, as he ought to know. 1 Corinthians 8:2.
It made Martin wonder,
Is there anything I ought to know, Father?